The surprising conclusion of the mid-season finale of Grey's Anatomy Season 21 paves the way for the medical drama to finally make sense of one of the mysteries surrounding the Shepherd family, provided that what it hinted holds true. Although Grey's Anatomy has only ever concentrated on Derek and Amelia for an extended period of time, the Shepherd family as a whole has always been the focal point of the show whenever it has made an appearance on the medical drama. Whether it was due of the fact that Derek and Amelia's experience of witnessing their father being shot to death in his store was a part of the tale, or because Carolyn, Nancy, Liz, and Kathleen appeared on the show, the Shepherds and their past held a great deal of weight in Grey's Anatomy. Both Derek's passing in the 11th season of Grey's Anatomy and Amelia's unwillingness to cope with the Shepherds made it more challenging for them to make a comeback. This was especially true considering that their goal whenever they did make a comeback was to get back in touch with their family in Seattle. On the other hand, the arrival of Derek and Amelia's nephew Lucas Adams in Seattle provided the perfect opportunity for them to reintroduce the new interns that were introduced in Grey's Anatomy Season 19. This was made possible by the entrance of the new class of interns in the season. If they were to return as a result of the shocking events that occurred in the 8th episode of the 21st season of Grey's Anatomy, they would also be able to solve a significant mystery. Despite the fact that Lucas appeared to be more reactive during the incident, the fact that Joe and Lucas were held at gunpoint in the mid-season finale of Grey's Anatomy Season 21 was deeply disturbing for both of them. While the events of Grey's Anatomy Season 21 Episode 8 progressed slowly but steadily, the situation rapidly deteriorated when the sales assistant used the baseball bat to hit the gunman. This led to the physical altercation between Lucas and the gunman as they struggled for the weapon, which ultimately resulted in a gunshot being fired. As a result, the fate of Lucas was purposefully left a mystery in the 8th episode of the 21st season of Grey's Anatomy. However, the Shepherd family may be extremely affected by the possibility that he was shot. The promotional video for the 9th episode of Grey's Anatomy Season 21 has showed Amelia being informed about Lucas, although it is not clear what information she was given during this time. Amelia's situation will likely become more challenging as a result of her status as his aunt yet. In the event that Lucas sustains an injury, Amelia would have a valid reason to contact Lucas's parents and inform them. It is possible that a challenging situation may ultimately draw the Shepherd sisters back together and bring them to Seattle once more, this time as a group. This would surely produce drama as their reunions typically do, but it could also be exactly what is required in the event that Lucas is injured, as they would be able to provide support for Lucas's mother under those circumstances. In the event that the Shepherd sisters were to make a comeback to Grey's Anatomy, the most significant Shepherd secret that has ever been kept could at long last be exposed in the medical drama. In point of fact, the nature of Lucas's parents on Grey's Anatomy has been a mystery ever since he made his debut in the 19th season. Grey's Anatomy went to great lengths to conceal the identity of the Shepherd sister who was Lucas's mother for the purpose of ensuring that his relationship with Amelia and Derek was never in question. In the 2nd episode of the 21st season of Grey's Anatomy, Lucas revealed to Richard that his father was the one who taught him how to play golf so that he could form relationships with his coworkers. This provided an insight into Lucas's family life. If every single one of the Shepherd sisters traveled to Seattle after Lucas was injured, it would be inevitable that the truth about who Lucas's mother is would be revealed. Despite the fact that Lucas's sharing did not provide any significant clues regarding the Shepherd sister, who was his mother, it did provide some additional information regarding his family life. If every single one of the Shepherd sisters traveled to Seattle after Lucas was injured, it would be inevitable that the truth about who Lucas's mother is would be revealed. Amelia may let the truth slip when meeting with Lucas, Simone, or any of her loved ones at Grey Sloan, providing Grey's Anatomy Season 21 with the opportunity to finally tell the truth about the direct connection that exists between Amelia and Lucas. This would be the case even if such a significant reunion were not possible. Grey's Anatomy will return to ABC on Thursday, March 6th, 2025, at 10 o'clock at night for the 21st season. Grey's Anatomy Season 21 had to say goodbye to Mika Yasuda as well, following in the footsteps of Levi Schmidt's departure. However, there is a positive connotation associated with her leaving. Midori Francis's character, who is still reeling from the automobile accident that left her in serious condition and resulted in the death of her younger sister Chloe, makes an effort to go back to work in order to move on with her life. In the 8th episode of the 21st season of Grey's Anatomy, Grey Sloan Memorial is inundated with patients who are nearing the end of their life. This drives Mika to strive to save lives while also coping with her own sadness. Immediately following the occurrence of a code, Mika experiences a breakdown, during which she yells at Dr. Bailey, who is portrayed by Chandra Wilson. The last portion of the episode focuses on Mika's efforts to regain a sense of normal cyberspace, which ultimately leads her to confront the room in where her sister passed away and even takes her connection with Jules to a higher spiritual level. At the conclusion of the episode, Mika expresses her regret to Bailey and comes to the realization that she is unable to continue living at Grey Sloan because everything there reminds her of Chloe. Bailey comforts Mika by assuring her that she will always have a place to go back to, despite the fact that she is unhappy about her departure. Because of this, Mika will no longer be appearing on Grey's Anatomy. The news that Frances was going to leave the television institution was released before the current year began, but it was also reported that she will make an appearance in the 21st season of Grey's Anatomy to finish Mika's storyline. The episode Drop It Like It's Hot is able to write Mika out in a manner that is distinctive to Grey's Anatomy, with a tragic ending and an intolerable amount of pain for the character. Frances had the opportunity to demonstrate her range as an actor because to Mika's emotional farewell. The interns are also impacted by Mika's leaving because they are attempting to figure out how to keep moving forward without her and how Jules will handle the collapse of their relationship. While Mika was making an effort to go back to work, she came to the realization that the death of Chloe in the hallways of Grey Sloan would continue to be a source of remorse for her. The unexpected choice that Mika made to leave Seattle entirely was prompted by this insight. The worry, on the other hand, is that Mika will be left to grieve without the support of her friends and mentors who are familiar with the medical aspects of her sister's passing, which her family might not be aware of. The interns are also impacted by Mika's leaving because they are attempting to figure out how to keep moving forward without her and how Jules will handle the collapse of their relationship. Despite the fact that a great number of fans are lamenting Mika's departure, it is essential to keep in mind that her departure is a more favorable outcome than the ones that many other characters have experienced. The untimely deaths of loved ones such as Derek Shepherd, Lexi Gray, George O'Malley, and others have made it impossible for these great personalities to make a comeback, unless they are dreaming about the COVID-19 viruses. An appearance by Mika would not be out of the norm for Grey's Anatomy given that Taryn Helm, who was portrayed by J.C. Elliott, made a similar appearance in the 20th season. Mika leaves the show with her relationship with the interns, Bailey, and the hospital intact, which allows room for her to return for a visit or perhaps return to finish her residency once she has recovered from her injury. Frances stated that she would be so delighted to return to the country if she were to be requested to do so in an interview with Deadline. On the bright side, Frances' departure from Grey's Anatomy was a cordial one, which means that the likelihood of her coming back has significantly increased. Things are not looking good for Mika Yasuda, who is played by Midori Francis, as Grey's Anatomy fans get ready for the show's comeback with episode 7. If You Leave, which will air the following Thursday. Fans will remember that in the most recent episode, Yasuda, who was extremely exhausted after work, was driving her sister Chloe home from the hospital when she fell asleep behind the wheel and, you guessed, the rest of the story is where it goes from there. It is important to highlight that Yasuda has been working twice as hard in order to compensate for the time off she took in order to care for Chloe, who is battling cancer. When the show comes to a conclusion like this, who could blame the fans who can't wait till the next week's episode? Thank goodness, a BC has released a sneak look of the 7th episode of Grey's Anatomy Season 21, which demonstrates how dire the situation is for Yasuda already. During the portion of the video, Yasuda's co-workers went absolutely crazy, particularly Jules, played by Adelaide Kane, who had just become more than just a friend to Mika. During the time that the doctors are working on the poor patient, she begins coding, which causes Jules to lose her composure. In spite of this, the experts are required to set their feelings aside in the face of such a demanding situation. The forthcoming episode of Grey's Anatomy will also set up Jake Borelli's departure from his role as Levi Schmidt, which he has played for 7 years. Schmidt shared the news that he had taken a public health research position in Texas with his superiors Richard and Bailey, as well as with his closest buddy Helm. In addition, the logline for episode 7 gives the impression that he would pose a shocking question that could impact their future. to his new partner, James. It was stated in May that Francis would not continue playing the role of Yasuda in season 21 of Grey's Anatomy, which led to the dissemination of news regarding her imminent departure from the show. This meant that the fate of Yasuda had already been decided. For the past 2 years, the actress has been playing the role of the character. She joined the series in season 19 as a member of the new group of interns who arrived at the hospital. She will be quitting her position as a series regular in order to take on a guest role immediately prior to Francis' departure. According to sources, she is leaving because she wants to pursue other chances. This news comes after it was confirmed that Jake Borelli is also leaving Grey's Anatomy after nearly a decade of working on the show.